Shalom. I want to give all the praise, all the glory, all the honor unto Yahawah, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rekah Kodash. Double honors goes out to the elder apostles of Great Millstone for teaching me the truth. Also want to acknowledge all the Akyam who are pushing the truth with sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth. And Shalom to the elect of the nation of Israel. And this is Shabai from GMS Denver. And through the Spirit, I'm over here at the plantation. I'm going to do a quick lesson. I've been reading, and it's always good to read and edify yourself. And so I'm going to do a quick lesson. My last two lessons have been pretty long. And it's good to do both long and short lessons, kind of change it up. But this one, nonetheless, is going to be a short, quick one, quick hitter. But let's start in the top in Psalm 96. It says, "O sing unto Yahawah a new song. Sing unto Yahawah all the earth." Okay. And the new song is this truth that we're teaching. It's the truth that we're teaching. You have a lot of Israelites who are, they don't know the truth. They don't even know they're Israelites, But this is the new song that's being sung on the earth right now. It's the truth. It's the last days, so the Lord has set up his prophets, his men, and we're here to, wake up the elect. Because the 2/3, they're going to stay asleep. They're going to come across this knowledge, come across this truth, and they're going to reject it, right? It's not for them right now. Verse 2, it says, "Sing unto Yahawah, bless his name, show forth his salvation from day to day." Right. So the elect, starting out with the Lord's prophets, we're blessing the names of Yahawah, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. Ain't nobody else blessing the names, all right? You got a lot of our people, the majority of our people, they don't know the true names of Yahawah, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. They're calling on Jesus. They're calling on Yahweh. They're calling on Jehovah. They're calling on Yah. All these different names. Yahuwah. You know what I mean? The true name of the Father is Yahawah. The true name of the Son is Yahweh Shai. And we're the only ones who show forth the salvation. The ones who are praising the names of Yahawah, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Because we're the ones telling you what salvation actually is. Pagan Christians, they'll tell you that they've already been saved, which that's fucking stupid. You're not saved. Ain't nobody saved. Everything's preordained, and those who are going to be saved have already been, written in the book of life. But you stupid-ass Christians walking around talking about you're saved, what are you saved from? Are you saved from the destruction that's coming? The destruction that you don't even know about? All right? Verse 3, "Declare his glory among the heathen, his wonders among all people." And that's why when we go out to the streets and teach, we're declaring the glory and what's the glory? The glory deals with those chariots coming back and bringing us salvation. And we're telling you, whether you're an Israelite or you're a heathen, we're telling you what the truth is, right? What's that? Jeremiah 1:5. "Before I formed thee in the belly I knew thee, and before thou camest forth out of the womb I sanctified thee, and I ordained thee a prophet unto the nations." So it's not just the tribes of Israel. We're prophets that have been ordained, and all the nations are going to hear this truth. The heathen are going to hear it. the Israelites are for sure going to hear it. But that's what we're doing. Declare his glory among the heathen, his wonders among all people. For Yahawah is great and greatly to be praised. He is to be feared above all gods, right? And there's only one true power, man. The word God, it means power. I just spoke, because I'm over here at the job. I just spoke to a woman. I was trying to, do my job here. Well, I'm not even going to get specific. But anyway, I was dealing with this woman, and she was talking about Allah. She was saying she's a Muslim, And, you're at the job, you got to move like a, you got to move in incognito, undercover. We can't be, we can't be teaching the scriptures, while we're on the job and stuff, And really, our teachings should be reserved to these lessons, these individual lessons that we do, and the street teachings that we do. But anyway, this lady was a Muslim. She wanted to talk about Muslim this and Muslim that, Allah this, Allah that. But see, she doesn't know this. It says he is to be feared above all gods. And she even had the nerve to say that she reads, because, that I could have cut her so many times, because she started having a dialogue with me. And she's like, yeah, I'm a Muslim. And then she's like, I don't eat pork, because some other lady had a big old stack of pork ribs in her cart, right? And I just told her, yeah, I don't eat pork either, But went on to say, I read the Quran and I read the Bible. Well, you're double-minded, But could I tell her that? No, I'm over here at the plantation. But it just shows you how lost our people are. They don't know shit, and they think they know shit. Even when they think they're deep, they're not deep. It says he is to be feared above all gods. So if you fear the Most High, you're not going to put your energy and your worship and your time and your into anything but Yahawah B'Shem Yahushai. You're not going to be calling on Allah. You're not going to be reading the Quran with sincerity and divine, divinity, and worshiping and believing the sayings that are in the Quran, But this lady, she actually said that with her own mouth. Oh yeah, but I read the Bible and the Quran, but I'm Muslim, It's like, bitch, you're going to get destroyed by the nuclear fire. Verse 5, for all the gods of the nations are idols. You see that? But can you tell? Well, again, I'm at the plantation, so I can't, it's really not the time or the place. But every now and then, Jake wants to talk about spiritual things in different settings. It says, for all the gods of the nations are idols. Allah is an idol. The word Allah, it simply means power. It's not, it's not a name, But Yahawah made the heavens. Honor and majesty are before him. Strength and beauty are in his sanctuary. Right. Strength and beauty is in his sanctuary. And what's his sanctuary? His sanctuary is this knowledge, this truth. Where is the strength and the beauty? It comes from the truth. The ones who have this, hold this truth, the ones who are, the Most High Yahawah B'Shem Yahushai is dealing with, who has given us understanding. Well, guess what? We're the ones who have this knowledge and this truth. This is where the strength is with us. It's not with these heathen gods. Allah is a god, one of the gods of the heathen. All right? Verse 7, give unto Yahawah, O ye kindreds of people, give unto Yahawah glory and strength. Give unto Yahawah the glory due unto his name. Bring an offering and come into his courts. Right. Meaning put some respect on his name. It's Yahawah the Father, Yahawashi the Son. The names are important. The names are the foundation. It says, give unto Yahawah the glory due unto his name. When you're calling on Allah, you're not giving the glory due unto Yahawah. You know? But that shows you most of these people are not the elect. Okay? Because in the book of Ecclesiastes 17 and 10, it tells you, and the elect shall praise his holy name. Holy means separate. So only the elect are going to praise the names of Yahawah Ba'ashem Yahushai. Alright, if you're not calling on those names, I say it in a lot of videos, you ain't of the elect. You're not of the elect, okay? Plain and simple. It's no gray areas. It's black and white. You got to use the true names. To glorify Yahawah Ba'ashem Yahushai, the only way you can do it is using the true names. You know? You have people on, that are you might come across, and you call them the wrong name or you call them outside their name. First of all, they're not going to answer. Second of all, some of them might get mad. Some of them will correct you like, hey, that ain't my name. So how much more the Heavenly Father, which his name is holy, and he's the holiest of the holy, right? So why would you not want to make sure you have the right name? And humble yourself. The Lord has set up his prophets. When you know these scriptures and you understand these scriptures and you believe these scriptures, you would have the humility to shut up and listen. If the Lord has set up men who are teaching the truth, why the hell would you try and act like a know-it-all? Or why are you trying to argue with the men of the Lord who hold the name? Jeremiah 3:15. And I will give you pastors according to mine heart, which shall feed you with knowledge and understanding. And that's what he's done. He's given you pastors that have the names, right? We go to John. Tells you in John 17 and 6. Yeah, Yahawashi said it. I have manifested, meaning I've shown, thy name unto the men which thou gavest me out of the world. Thine they were, and thou gavest them me, and they have kept thy word. All right? So Yahawah gave the prophets to Yahawashi, right? The order. It goes Yahawah, Yahawashi, the men, and then the women. All right? And in that order, Yahawashi, through grace, through mercy, he gave us the names. It says here, I have manifested. Manifested means shown. I have shown thy name unto the men which thou gavest me out of the world. And, that's the point right there. We, GMS, we're the only camps that, we'll beat it into your head, on these videos and on the streets. We'll tell you the true names. You come up with some bullshit or you come up trying to contest the true names, and guess what? We're going to defend the gospel. That's part of our service, is to defend this gospel. You see? But this name thing, it's an important thing. It's the foundation. And I always tell people, when you first meet somebody, the first thing you know about them is their name. Oh, hey, what's your name? That's literally the first thing you do usually. 9 times out of 10, You stupid ass Christians, oh, well, he has all kind of names. Or you can say it, everyone says it in their own language. No, the names don't translate. You know? We always tell you, look at Donald Trump. He's the president of Babylon. When they talk about Donald Trump in China, they don't have a name in Chinese for him. They just say Donald Trump. Let me see. Where are we at? Okay, verse 9. Oh, worship Yahawah in the beauty of holiness. Fear before him all the earth. Right, and holiness, remember, that means separate. So when you worship Yahawah, you have to use the true name. You can't just call him anything. You can't call him Yahweh. You can't call him Jehovah. You can't call him Yahuwah, God. No, we're telling you through the Spirit that there are men who have been shown the name, who have been given the true names. And this is a tool of comfort, a tool of salvation, a tool of get your ass out of trouble if you call on those true names. If you're calling on a name that's not the true name, the Most High Yahawah, His Son Yahweh Shai, it's not going to answer. In the day of darkness, the day of wrath, the day of the heathen, aka the day of the missiles, the nuclear missiles. Try calling on those names, I promise you. You're not going to be delivered. You're not going to be saved, pagan Christian. You better know the name if you want salvation. And you better be of the elect. And you better be an Israelite. All those things are necessary for salvation. Okay? Verse 10. Say among the heathen, the Yahawah reigneth. The world also shall be established, that it shall not be moved. He shall judge the people righteously. And it's going to be righteous judgment when you get put to death because you're calling on a false idol. You're calling on a pagan name. You're calling on a name that the oppressor gave you. It's going to be righteous judgment. It's going to be justified. You being put to death. Okay? You're going to get put to death. Because you didn't believe the Lord's true prophets. You didn't believe his servants. You didn't believe that, that we held the true names. And a lot of our people, they have a zeal, but not according to knowledge, right? Romans 10:2. Let's grab that real quick. Romans 10:2. Remember, zeal means passion. Our people have a passion for the Most High. Right? It says, for I bear them record that they have a zeal, which means passion, of the Most High, but not according to knowledge. Yeah, you have a passion for the Most High, but you're over here calling him the wrong name. That's not according to knowledge. That's not according to the pastures that he's given you as mercy for the elect. He set up his prophets. Let me go back to it again. You believe in the Most High. You have a zeal, you have a passion, you have a desire in the Most High, but it's not according to knowledge, and that's not going to bring you salvation. If you have to be on point with everything when it comes to this ministry, when it comes to this truth. You have to use the true names. You have to give the proper breakdowns. You got those guys over at Genesis, breaking down shit wrong again. Talking about America is not the lake of fire. And those aren't the pastors that Yahawah B'Shem Yahushua has set up. Those are false prophets that are set up to give as a stumbling block. Because if you don't discern, you same people who don't call on the true names, you're the same people that are gonna believe the madness when all these false prophets speak. They're gonna teach you madness and lies, and you're gonna believe it because you're not diligent. You don't search the scriptures. You don't seek Yahawah B'Shem Yahushua wholeheartedly. Verse 3 and 15, Jeremiah. And I will give you pastors according to mine heart, which shall feed you with knowledge and understanding. Right? So we're giving you knowledge. The true names, that's part of that, that's knowledge. We're dropping knowledge. When we say Yahawah, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, we're dropping knowledge. Remember, the men that were given to Yahweh Shai from Yahawah, he said, I have manifested thy name to them. If you don't believe that, then you don't believe the scripture. You don't believe that the Lord is dealing with a group of men and he's giving them the true names, the true proper names. You don't believe the scriptures if you can't believe that one aspect of this truth. And it says here, which shall feed you with knowledge and understanding. All right, let's get back to that Romans 10 and 2. What's it say? For I bear them record that they have a zeal, which is a passion of the Most High, but not according to knowledge. But now you have men who have the true names, who are feeding you with knowledge and understanding, but yet you reject it. Hosea 4 and 6. My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge, because thou hast rejected knowledge, like the names, you reject it constantly. We give you the true names and you want, I'm going to call him this, or I'm going to call him that, or he has many names. No. Yahawah has one name, Yahweh Shai has one name. I will also reject thee, that thou shalt be no priest to me, seeing thou hast forgotten the law of the Most High, and I will also forget thy children. So your offspring is going to be forgotten too. Because why? Because you were too stubborn. You had a zeal, but just wasn't good enough. You had a passion, but it just wasn't right. The true prophets were set up to teach, to show their people their transgressions, like it tells you in Isaiah 58, to lift up the trumpet, right? To lift up our voice like a trumpet. And you couldn't get it right. Because why? You reject knowledge. Men who are on the truth, who are in the truth, who are teaching on the streets, on the videos, on YouTube. We have the secrets, we have the mysteries, we have the knowledge. We're sharing it with the elect, because the elect are the only one who can receive it. Amos 3 and 7. Surely Yahawah the Most High will do nothing, but he revealeth his secret unto his servants the prophets. All right? So we've been... part of the secrets that have been revealed are the names. All right? And if you can't receive those true names, Yahawah, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, that's on you. And you're going to get destroyed. And the ones who can't receive it, guess what? You deserve to get destroyed. You deserve to die in nuclear fire. You deserve to die of famine. You deserve to die of a poison that Esau injects you with. Hence his jump shot, his vaccination. If you catch my drift, okay? Let me go back to that Psalm 96. We're going to finish it off. Psalm 96. It says... 11. Let the heavens rejoice and let the earth be glad. Let the sea roar and the fullness thereof. Let the field be joyful and all that is therein. Then shall all the trees of the wood rejoice. Right. And remember, trees is dealing with men. Because an actual tree can't rejoice, right? But the trees is dealing with men. And when this stuff is going to happen, when everyone's going to be rejoicing, is when the destruction comes and Esau Edom is removed from his power seat. And the Israelites, we gain, see the phone had a chime on that. So we gained the power seat at that time. Joint heirs with Yahawah Shai. Okay? It says in verse 13, before Yahawah, for he cometh to judge the earth, he shall judge the world with righteousness and the people with his truth. Right. And that's already starting, because he's judging, he's set up his judges, who are his prophets, his servants. He set those men up. He set us up. And here we are, if you can't receive these names, you can't receive this knowledge, you can't receive the spirit of Yahawah B'Shem Yahushai, then that's going to be your downfall. That's going to be your destruction. You want to be hard-headed? Because, we know the Israelites, the Bible tells us the Israelites are a hard-headed, stiff-necked people. Meaning you're stubborn. And because of all that, that's a whole recipe for your destruction. You being hard-headed, you being stiff-necked, you rejecting knowledge, Hey, the time is going to come when, we're not going to have to teach the names anymore because, when he destroys Babylon, America, everybody and their mama is going to know the names of Yahawah B'Shem Yahushai. All right? So with that, I'm going to give all the praise, all the glory, all the honor unto Yahawah B'Shem Yahushai B'Hashem HaKadosh. Double honors goes out to the elder apostles of Great Millstone for teaching me the truth. Also, I want to acknowledge all the Akyam who are pushing the truth with sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth. Shalom to the elect. Shalom.